Rise. Cocke County Legislative Body Council session. Chairman Jeff S. Linker present. Mayor Rob Mattis present.
First thing was Commissioner Bassett will say prior. We got two commissioners that's got some health issues tonight, Mr. Lehman and Mr. Smith.
Let's remember that gentleman in Cocke too, the young man.
Hey, you're hey. I just came from the high school and we had prayer for him up there, but the family sure could use it.
We'd like to ask for Deputy Joey Owens, one of our lieutenant or sergeants. He's been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. We need him whenever he's
Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. We ask, Father, that you please bless this community. Please be with the ones that are sick, the names that were mentioned, you know all about it. We ask, Father, that you would bless this CLB that will make good decisions for our county. We ask that you'll forgive us where we fail you, Father. And I say, God bless America. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, looks like the first thing we got is new commissioner in the 3rd district. So Mr. Skep, you come up here. And you up.
Do solemnly swear that I will perform with fidelity the duties of the office to which I have been elected and which I am about to assume. I do solemnly swear to support the constitutions of Tennessee and the United States and to faithfully perform the duties of the office of County Commissioner representing the 3rd District of Cocke County, Tennessee. Congratulations.
First item of business, roll call.
Andy Ford.
Here.
Bill Miller.
Here.
Caleb Blake. Here. Jason McMahon.
Here.
Norman Smith. Tracy Stepp.
Here.
Jonathan Templin.
Here.
Jeff Esslinger.
Here.
Dan Bright. Lil Mobile. Here. Rick Bassett.
Here.
David Verdall.
Here.
Tim Lehman. Billy Hudson.
Here.
Three absent.
Second thing, approval of minutes. Have a motion. Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Okay, next we got notaries. Karen Winstead, Sherry Gregg, Tara Faith. Motion to accept. Second. All in favor say aye. All opposed likewise. In the matter of accepting the quarterly revenue and expenditure report from the Cocke County Board of Education, copy enclosed. Motion to accept. Mr. Vice. Second. Any discussion? That'd be a roll call. Okay, we'll have a roll call vote.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Michelle Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock, Ms. Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Baxter,
Yes.
David Fairwell,
Yes.
Tim Langman, and Billy Hudson.
Yes.
Okay, next we got in the matter of approving the following quarterly reports from circuit court, copy and close. Have a motion? Have a second? Any discussion?
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Kelly Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock, Ms. Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Baxter,
Yes.
David Fairwell,
Yes.
Tim Langman, Billy Hudson.
Yes.
Okay, in the matter of any committee reports, budget.
Mr. Chairman, the Budget Committee recommends the approval of the attached transfers and amendments and waives the reading of the same for the accounts.
Second? Bill Moore, second. Any discussion? No, hurry up, we'll wait 30 seconds.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Kelly Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes. Dan
Dan Brock, Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Baxter,
Yes.
David Fairwell,
Yes.
Tim Langman, Billy Hudson.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, the Budget Committee recommends the approval of the attached transfers and amendments and waives the reading of the same for the school system.
One second. Any discussion?
We're used to everybody yelling, that's not used to
Make a motion.
No, I'll yell for it, just don't worry about it. I got y'all. Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Taylor Blazer. Yes. Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock, Ms. Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Baxter,
Yes.
David Fairwell,
Yes.
Tim Langman, Billy Joe Hudson.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Very excellent. Okay, so the next one, we were doing the school food service and the school system together. Audit wants to see the motion for the school food service in a separate motion. So I I have it broken out separate this month. The budget committee recommends the approval of the tax transfer amendments and waive the reading of the same for the school food service. Dave Fairdahl, Bill Miller. Right, okay. That's for leaving, not for me. Down there.
Our chairman told us she's our charge forces tonight, so.
Oh.
Yes, he was second. Yes. Thank you.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Kelly Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Wright, Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Fairdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Bob Hudson. Mr. Chairman, the Budget Committee recommends the approval of the attached agreement with Open Meetings to implement an electronic voting system for CLB meetings.
Is that a motion? Have a second.
Jonathan?
I didn't say it.
Oh, you want to say?
I need a second.
I need a second.
I'll second.
You can, I'll take it.
Okay.
Come on, leave it back.
I got a question about, what does this exactly do? Will we all have,
You want, is it iPad there? Yeah, go ahead.
And that's an excellent question, I'm glad you asked. What it's going to do is, you will each have a tablet, and as will the chairman. And whenever there is and it'll be controlled from a laptop over here by the circuit court clerk, and everything will be displayed on the televisions. We'll probably have maybe one more display somewhere in the courthouse so the gallery can see more clearly. And what will happen is, instead of a roll call vote, you'll have an allotted period of time to vote, and everybody will vote, and then once it's finished, you'll be just kind of like what the state house does. And then when that comes up, it'll project your votes as to who voted how on the screen. And also, it's a tool for managing meetings, like for making motions and seconds. You'll just tap that on and then it'll pop up, and then that way they won't have to ask who made the motion, who seconded. And it also helps to conduct the meeting, so the chairman can see if anybody wants to speak, they can tap their ring in, and then the chairman can see who wants to speak and then in what order when who requested it. So it's just a way to manage the meetings, it's transparent for the people, and it's just I saw a demonstration, it was really impressive, and I've also talked to several other mayors in other counties and commissioners who have this system or one similar to it, and they all say they can't imagine going back, they love it.
And it helps keep everything transparent, and like if something's messed up, we can always go back. Even though Rhonda does the videotaping, that's electronically will be recorded and will be held in the county clerk's office along with the other records.
And it generates a report of the meeting afterwards, y'all.
So where are the funds coming from to pay for that? The fund, I mean, do we have?
Another great question. We received a check from unclaimed funds from the state that will cover this to within a few $100s. It's almost identical to the total expense.
Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor, do you recommend this?
I do. Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Do we do a roll call?
Let's go ahead with it. Andy Ford,
yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Dale Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger, Dan Wright, Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
Dave David Fairdoll,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I have one more thing. You will have in your packet a capital outlay note resolution. This did not go before budget committee because the approval from the state did not come in until after the budget committee meeting. The state has approved this. What essentially we're doing is borrowing money from ourselves because the highway has a piece of equipment they'd like to buy. They have half the money in their budget, and we're going to take half the money out of debt service to fully pay for the piece of equipment, and then next budget year, the highway will pay that money back to debt service. I know that sounds crazy, does that make sense? Okay. So, all I need tonight is a approval on this resolution, so we can go ahead and purchase that.
Motion. Any more discussion?
Where's this piece of equipment going to be used?
Highway department,
It's not, okay.
yeah.
What is the piece of equipment, just out of curiosity?
It's a giant excavator.
Excavator.
Yeah. I'll get front.
Just curious.
Yeah.
So, I do have a question. Are they gonna have to do, like, get whatever comes in the CLB and then pay it back, or is there that next year? You said they were paying it back next year.
We'll just put it in their budget next year to pay
So
it
we'll
back.
just take it out of the budget next year?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Carol Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Lauren Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Bright, Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Fairdoll,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all from me.
Do we have anybody in sanitation? Mr. Burke.
Yes, we voted on a few things the other night. We just go ahead and throw some of these out. First one being, we as a board have decided we would like to shut down Bogard Convenience Center. This center is probably the least amount used as far as centers. We have got, let me just say, an extra large contract coming up for the new contract for the hauling of trash. And we're trying to find some ways either to make a little bit of money and to cut a little money. And this is one of those things we looked at as far as centers goes. They have another center that they can go to just pretty much right down the road, coming out of Bogard, right in Wilton Springs. So we have decided that. We've also decided that we voted on anybody brings any kind of class 3 trash. And for those that don't know the classes, class 3 is household stuff like furniture, mattresses, box springs, any kind of building materials you want to bring in there. It'll bring everybody, not just certain people. Everybody will be charged $35 a ton. And of course, most of that will be prorated. A lot of people just don't have a tonnage amount, they just have it under that, so that would be prorated. There was another issue we voted on, and that was to raise the price of tires coming in. I left the price breakdown on my phone, and I left my phone at home, so I will reintroduce that one next month. It goes anywhere from $4 to $40, and the $40 tire is like coming off what the piece of equipment that they would turn in. Some big heavy equipment with a big tire like that would be, say, $40. We're losing money exponentially on the amount of tires. We've been charging like $2 for all kinds of tires, and we're losing money leaving out of this county every time we're charged for it. I think that's about all of them for now.
I'm just going to be able to lean tire back to Sandy.
Yes, that was, thank you, that was the other thing. You talking about the convenience centers? No. That, because of the charge of the tires, we have decided to bring all the tires have to be brought to the landfill. The reason being, because tires are being charged for. We don't want the people at the centers have to handle money. We looked at the safety aspect of that, it's just not safe. So all tires now will have to be brought to the centers. We're going to ask the sheriff's department to keep a vigilant eye out for dumping, because we know this could happen. We ask it, I know y'all are busy, but, if we're seeing a truck ride around at 10 o'clock at night with a bunch of tires on it, something's up. They're not going to a tire party, they're doing something. So, something like that. So, anyway, I will bring the breakdown of the tires next month, and we'll go from there. And two other things I just thought of. I should have wrote this down. Anyway, the other thing was we are going to start shutting our centers down. We'll open them 30 minutes later in the mornings and close them 30 minutes later in the afternoons. That would save us about $25,000, plus the fact that the darkness, the way the time is now, safety reasons, we don't like leaving people in the dark in these little buildings. Again, we're looking at safety for our employees.
What time is it open?
7:30 right now. Yeah. So it'll be only 30-minute difference on each end. We hope that's not going to cause a problem. I mean, we're open 6 days a week. And the last but not least is we would like to start giving our employees an Employee of the Month certificate and a $25 gift card each month to an employee just for, to build morale. I don't know if that's got to come before something that small. Does that have to go before budget? Or can we just do that? Because
I think if it's within your budget, I think as
$25
long as it's not extra budgetary and you have enough money within your budget.
yes.
One line item or another, you should be okay.
Yeah, the only thing is that we do a
And you don't.
roll call. Huh?
You don't.
I can't do it.
Your board, sanitation board should be able to vote.
We can vote on that ourselves. We don't have to take this to this board.
So, I think the school audit doesn't like their cards, because they don't want the county coaches out. It's a purchasing problem. We could do a bonus on the check. Can you do that?
Hey, I'm sure they don't care.
They should run for fair.
Yeah. We're just trying to do something in the center. These employees, especially the ones at the centers, they get paid peanuts. We face it,
Yeah, but if it's in your budget, you can do it.
Since it's money though, they have to bring it.
If it's in their budget, they don't have to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, budget has expenditure.
So who's your treasurer? Or you have to have a secretary?
I'm having trouble hearing.
Who's on the sanitation board now?
Jennifer and Tony and me.
Okay.
Jennifer Arms and,
Yeah,
sorry,
I know,
Jennifer Arms,
yeah,
Tony.
yeah.
I don't think so. We're not voting on this. Because our board's already done.
Already voted.
Yes.
Are you bringing that out?
Yes.
Okay. So,
I was told just to bring this out for informational purposes since we voted on it. I don't know if anything has to go before the full board.
How long you're talking about, just the board?
just your board.
Yeah, just our board has voted on stuff. I don't know what has to come before this board
You
and what
just
doesn't.
bring it as a motion, and then somebody seconds it.
Okay, all right. Which issue, each one of them?
Just the,
The expenditure,
the expenditure.
$25.
That's not, we don't have to vote on it.
Okay, which one?
Closing the
Close it
vote.
up and vote on it.
Okay, all right.
So I'll put you down as a motion.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second, close the boulevard. Center.
No, who's asking?
I'm sorry.
Nobody say.
Can I say
something on the boat? Right now, I live right there in Wilton Springs, close to there, and half the time they're full. And it's gonna be an issue if they're Bogart, if we close that down, it's gonna be exacerbate the issue at Wilton Springs of not having.
We thought, and I'm not trying to one way or the other on that, I just want to give you some information. The contract that we're looking at right now that I don't think has been ratified yet, the contract we're looking at now is stipulating that 2 compactors will be put in each center. Now, I don't know if we can even get 1 in Bogart, so it would have to be left to be picked up by a different kind of equipment, which can be done because the ones at the schools are remaining in the 40 gallon open, 40 yard open tops will be left at the schools. So we'd have to leave those there in Bogart like that because it just doesn't fit for a compactor. But we thought with the compactors coming in, we have had a lot of problems with the pickup service, the quality of service we got now. And just to let you know, they upped the price. Now, we haven't gone for negotiation yet on this, but right now they're upping the price on everything. So I'm having some real issues with it because the service has been terrible. And I don't know how to say that.
To the point about the service, we are going to be meeting with them for contract negotiations, and one of the things that's going to be top on our list on our side is enforcement provisions, so that the service that we pay for is the service that we get.
Yes.
Would there be any way, I mean, I know you said we're getting 2 compactors for each place. So would there be any way maybe to sort of see how that does at Wilton Springs before you shut Bogart down, just to sort of see?
I'll do whatever
You
you
know
all
what I'm
want.
saying?
Yeah.
Just to sort of let them know we are trying
We're
to see
just
how
trying to
good
find
it
some
works.
ways to cut. And that was just one of the ways we thought we
Yeah.
could
I mean,
cut.
I understand that, but if those compactors are really working at Wilton Springs, it probably may not be as bad. I'm just saying to try to
We can
try it
try.
before you know, have a date you look at that you're going to shut that down, but I don't know. I was just thinking of how it would look.
Yeah.
If we have 2 compactors, if they're able to get in and out easily, and it's like he said, not full all the time, it might make a bigger difference, and people might be more okay with it to prove that to them. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
fine.
I don't
And
know.
let me kind of tell you ahead of time, the compactors, the way we're looking at trying to use the compactors, we want to use one compactor first without even opening up the second one. Once that first one's filled, we call ahead, or they're supposed to be able to be notified by some kind of computer element on it as far as showing how much compression's on it at their office. That gives them a day or so to come empty. By that time, we were using that second compactor. So we shouldn't have an issue of it shutting down like we're having now. We got, I don't know how many pages written down of the ones that are closing early because we're full. And we can't have that. I mean, you know, and like I said, we're just looking at some options to help alleviate that problem.
So we're full. Is that because of the service?
That is because of the service. I don't know how else to say that. And
My suggestion would be not to use the ones we're currently using if we can't service them.
well, that's the problem. GFL, we had one other issue, but that's all we had on that.
We never got a second. So we're going to table that and send it back to the sanitation board.
For that one issue,
for that one.
And ask the mayor, if the mayor will invite people who,
The company that's on or
that handle that.
well, let's, you're talking about GFL.
The ones that can pick up the trash.
Or GFL?
Maybe the mayor can, you see what I mean? If that's the pleasure
That's fine. We're here for the pleasure of this CLB. We're making some, we have to make decisions somehow.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're three people trying to figure out the best way to try and bring some extra income in, like I mentioned a while ago, as far as
Exactly.
$35 a ton, the tires and that kind of thing.
And that's, probably, it should happen, but a lot more.
Okay.
a lot
I'll
more
bring
like
that
this.
issue back next month with the tires. We have a Monday, December meeting?
With GFL?
No, this meeting. We are having a December meeting. I just wonder.
I know,
Okay.
it's not been decided to do anything else, so I'm just looking for it.
Yeah, I just,
Okay. We'll move on to general.
the general committee, as the chairman on that, we did vote to keep the distance on the beer, selling the beer at the same distance, so it got voted down. Their request did. 6-1, and that was after quite a bit of discussion.
Public safety,
We didn't have a meeting.
purchasing. Report of the county manager.
I only have 2 items, and these are more just informational, kind of give you advance notice of things that are coming down the road. One is we will be applying for some ARP grants, and an ARP grant is it's a regional Appalachian area grant, and each government entity is allowed to apply for 1 grant and will be awarded 1 grant at a time. So what we're doing to maximize that is we're going to go apply for 3 grants. We're working with the East Tennessee Development District. They're going to administer those for us. The first grant will be applied for by the Partnership for Infrastructure. The second will be by the school system for capital projects. And the third will be here at the county itself. We will be applying for a grant for to help us solve some of our solid waste issues. So that's what we're hoping to maximize that opportunity with. The second is we have been, we spoke about this in the budget committee. We have received an offer to purchase 40 acres adjoining the current landfill, because the landfill is open, it's running, it's doing great, but it's only got 8 at max years of life to it, of serviceable time, and probably less than that if we look at the growth that we're experiencing now, if that continues. So what we're looking at is the offer for that is this is all inclusive of, originally the offer was for an interest-free loan for $1 million over 10 years, so $100,000 per year over 10 years. Looks like that may not be possible, but what we're looking at negotiating is, it's going to be the same on our part, the $100,000 per year over the 10 years, but that'll be including interest and everything. So if the person we're working with is going to be pretty reasonable about that. I think now that we have that landfill up and running, that does sound a little, it's a lot less than what that land was going for earlier, a while back last year or so.
Yes.
And it also dwarfs the amount of the expense that would be having to relocate that 6 years from now. So essentially, that takes the reopening of the landfill from a Band-Aid. We'll put it this way, we've already spent $3.5 million even thing opening it. We can invest $1 million to make this, essentially keep it open for the next 50 years instead of the next 6 to 8. So I saw that as a great opportunity for us, and we have, just to do, as far as our due diligence, TDEC is coming out, they're supposed to be about before the end of the year, to examine those 40 acres to make sure those are going to be usable for us to continue as a landfill. And we have some other opportunities there as well. And I've already talked with the landowner about this. He's agreed that we haven't had the timber assessed, but what we'd like to do is have that timber harvested and have that going to help offset the expense and potentially even the rock on that property. Go in and sell the rock from that property and then be left with nothing flat dirt, which is exactly what you want in a landfill. So ways that we can offset that expense. So you never know how much we get out of that. It may end up being a lot less expensive than what it looks like on paper. There's nothing to vote on, just let you know that's kind of where we're at with it. That's, and after TDEC comes and looks at that, then we'll have something more to that. Does anybody have any questions for me? Is there anything I'm leaving out? I think that's all I have.
County Attorney.
I just wanted to clarify something from last month's meeting. When you guys voted to have Macy as the interim assessor, that is for the period between when the vacancy occurs, which is December 31st, and the January meeting. 7 days before the meeting, the clerk will post that the position is available, and in the January meeting, we will actually be voting for the longer interim assessor, and that person will serve until the September after the next regular August election. I just wanted to clarify that.
County Commissioners. Cocaine Partnership.
So David called me this morning and wanted me to give y'all a couple of updates on questions he had posed. The first question was about the timeline with the bike trails that are going into Falstaff down Harvard and why is it taking so long? Well, technically we're on track right now to finish in the spring. What will be done with Nico. The reason it takes so long is we're using federal money, and federal money requires we go to the National Environmental Protection Act or agency, or assessment, sorry. And that requires a 4-month cultural and environmental review process through all the trails. I know it sounds ridiculous, considering we're talking about 2 to 3 foot wide bike trails, but that's exactly what it is. So everywhere we're talking about disturbing dirt or anything, that's got to be analyzed, reviewed, and you have to go through spring, green up, summer, summer foliage, fall foliage, and winter green up. So we'll be done. We started in the summer, we did just in the spring, we did summer, we did fall, we did winter, and now we'll be waiting for spring green up coming up before too long, so I'm able. After that, we'll start public comment period. That's a mandatory process, and then hopefully by summer or fall, we'll be letting that project out a bit at that point. So that kind of just let y'all know that anybody has can answer any questions on the bike trails. Second item was about ConAgra and what's going on right now with that. So as most of you know, Dr. Pepper is currently operating their distribution center in the Broadway building. They will continue to do so until the larger building comes on Highway 73 becomes available. Right now, ConAgra has that leased out and has that under contract until October 1st, 2023. There's not a whole lot we can do about that, unfortunately. Which there was. There are things I guess we could do that would require a lot of extra money and expense to do that probably lawsuit. So we're just kind of right now until that's done. Dr. Pepper has been very partners and agreed to kind of be patient with us, and then when that happens, then we'll continue to try to get something that we can. But to show you are aware, we've had I don't even have the exact number off the top of my head, but it's close to 40 different prospects that have done on-site tours at this point. So there's not a lack of interest in that facility. I have no concern we'll get that deal whenever we play. So just be patient a little bit longer. It's not all what we should do. I know it's good out. Anybody have any questions about ConAgra?
I've got questions about industrial activity. The first bullet point, 5 general inquiries for manufacturing related prospects in October.
That's the innovation part.
Hey, right. Is there like a time frame of when a decision will be made on this, or
So-
they give you anything of that?
So the main thing we're missing in the innovation part is the time frame on when the sites will be available. So we're going to commit, we got to give them a contract deadline of when that site pad ready site will be completed. With everything backed up with federal funds, with all the grants and engineers, everyone's got under the gun, including us. months for 2024. That's just to be right for 5 months behind schedule, right? To get the bid packets out for the project, for the site development grant for the state first. It is done, they're making the last couple of tweaks, but it will be posted or listed before Christmas, moving forward. Sometime in the next 2 weeks. So don't look out for that. The next grant will be posted more than likely will be the American Rescue Plans funds from last year that the county allocated for access road and for the water and sewer lines going around the new road. The third bid will come in next spring-ish with the TVA investor. So about $500,000 grant, and that'll cover 2 banks. So all in all, we get $2 million worth of improvements that have been, we had for a while, we just going through the process. To go back to your question, we'll be able to start getting, won't be able to re-engage the prospects that come in and show it. I can give them an event timeline on when those pads will be ready for the available. And then we get some,
You said those bids go out in December, as far as getting pads ready?
They'll be posted. I mean, and we'll be putting the bids out, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Between now and Christmas is what we're hoping. There's a lot of hoops we got to jump through, but it's federal money. We've gone through the bond sizes and et cetera. And we'll have to do closed bids, and then we'll have to do interviews and conduct those. We make any bids, and we kind of want to do those. Along with change and it's process. It's an aggravation, but it's part of it.
You did say too, at one point, I don't know, sooner or later, it sounds like sooner, we may have to have a secondary substation put up.
That'd be awesome. So we can't, Newport Utilities and they identified this property. I don't know if they closed there's been an offer made, it's pending, so close to the Invocation Park, and that would be a new substation. That's not there.
In the matter of report of priority ambulance service. We're going to have the main issues here. In the matter of report of Keep Cocke County Beautiful. In the matter of report of Cocke County Corrections Partnership Committee. New business in the matter of approving proposed holidays for 2023. Copy of folks. You don't have a motion to accept that. No, second.
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Adam Latham,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Wright, Wendell Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Beardoff,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Doug Hudson.
Yes.
In the matter of approving a resolution requesting the governor of Tennessee and the state attorney general to take appropriate action to protect the medical freedom of those serving in the Tennessee Army and our National Guard and Tennessee State Guard. Do I have a motion?
some good ones, we should be sponsored.
County Commissioner, I'll speak to Jeff, because he's the vice president. He said, and then it says that the whole county Tennessee Board of Commissioners, and then it will include everybody. Is that, where you'll be, so after you vote?
That'll be a roll call.
Do we get a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you second it?
Oh, we did. I'm sorry.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Bill Glazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Lauren Smith, Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Timlin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock, Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Basser,
Yes.
Dave Fairdoll,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes.
11-3 passes. Yes, I was Vice Chairman. Sorry. Lost stamps and lost sign. Where they put that one?
In a matter of proclamation, declaring November 2022 as adoption awareness month.
Do we have a representative from Youth Villages here, Tim? We had a request from Youth Villages to, for this proclamation, so we gladly did so. Whereas, every child deserves a loving family dedicated to helping them grow, learn, thrive, and whereas children who are unable to safely remain with their biological families deserve to have a safe, permanent place to call home, and whereas, observing Adoption Awareness Month is an opportunity to recognize the valuable contributions of adoptive parents who continually strive to improve the quality of life for the children they bring into their lives, and whereas in 1988, President Ronald Reagan issued the first presidential proclamation to establish November as Adoption Awareness Month and raise awareness for this crisis and recognize the organization working on behalf of the nation's children and youth, and whereas Youth Villages is a national leader in children's mental and behavioral health, bringing help and hope to tens of thousands of children, families, and young people across the United States. And whereas on any given day, Youth Villages specialists are working to help nearly 2,300 children and youth in Tennessee with continuum of evidence and research-based programs, including residential treatment, foster care, adoption, crisis services, intensive in-home services, and programs to give former foster youth a good start on successful adulthood. Now, I, Cocke County Mayor Robert Mathis, do hereby proclaim November 22nd as Adoption Awareness Month in Cocke County, Tennessee, and acknowledge awareness of organizations like Youth Villages and foster and adoptive parents, family members, volunteers, mentors, policymakers, child welfare professionals, and other community members who help children and youth find permanent homes, connections, and support structures. In witness thereof, I have thereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of Cocke County, Tennessee, to be affixed this 21st day of November 2022.